Hello and welcome to another episode of Andy's Shed Live. This is Series 11, episode number 7 for Sunday the 30th of October 2022. Hello there everybody and welcome to the show. Sorry there was no clock tonight. I've literally just walked in the door. This is not going to be entirely as planned tonight because things have gone a bit wrong. Basically I've ended up dog sitting tonight, so I have got two furry assistants who I'm keeping an eye on as I'm talking to you, who are here, and I'm well, yeah, as I say, I'm keeping an eye on them while I'm talking to you tonight, just to make sure they're not up to mischief. So a big hello to Odin and Thor. Odin is the white furry assistant, Thor is the black furry assistant. I dare say they will make an appearance at some time as we go on in the next hour or so. Hello to everybody who is in the chat. Remember, we do have the live YouTube chat there if you are indeed watching this live. If you're not watching it live, what you can see on the side of the screen there, if you watch on a smart TV or something that doesn't normally replay YouTube chat, what you can see on the side of the screen there is a kind of transcript of the chat as it happens. So hello to all the people who have made themselves known in the chat room already today. Penfold 15, Miguet1, Gambo Scott, Dominic Meakin. Yeah, hello guys, and welcome to the stream. I'm just catching up with what you've all been saying, because like I say, I've literally just walked through the door, so I've got to find out what's going on. Dominic says, evening all, I've managed to lose my phone last week, but I've now replaced it with a Unihertz Titan BlackBerry clone. Like that one, Dominic. Did you know I'd got one of those? Had I told you? Or is that just the most amazing fluke? But they're good. Yeah, they're good. You'll like it. The only problem with them is, because the screen on them is square, certain apps don't fit on them right. So that's a bit of a problem with certain apps, but I've not found a critical problem with that yet, but it does make certain things a bit crunched up, shall we say. Penfold says, those are so big you might as well carry a notebook with you. Yeah, but you can't play video on a notebook, can you? At least not a paper notebook anyway. Miguet says, Mercury started while I was working for the post office. Obviously seen Mercury in the title for tonight's stream. It says, Mercury started while I was working for the post office, as it was then. The whole thing was a farce to break the monopoly of the post office, as it meant their subs would go through a Mercury box in the Exchange Mall. Penfold says, is the Rabbit phone going to make an appearance? You know, I remember Rabbit, and I've not seen one of their handsets for, not really sure you can call them a phone, a Rabbit phone, because it worked by sort of connecting to a very small area sort of radio transmitter, didn't it? Yeah, if you owned a shop or something, you had like a Rabbit transmitter in your shop, and anybody in your shop could then connect their phone to your transceiver thing and use it from your shop. But didn't really catch on, did it? But yeah, it will be interesting to get hold of one of those, just as a sort of piece of history. Penfold says, are the rest of the Marvel Avengers dogs coming on the show? No, just Odin and Thor at the moment, who do not look like the Marvel Avengers. Yeah, I can't really show you them at the moment. I don't know where Thor's gone. He must be. I hope he's laid down somewhere. Thor, are you there? Thor! Oh, he's here. He's here. Hello. It's all right. Good boy. Good boy. It's okay. It's okay. False alarm. I was just checking you weren't getting up to mischief. Yeah, they are. They are here. I can't really easily show you them at the minute, but I'm sure one of them will jump up in a minute and you will be able to see them. Yeah, it says this box, this Mercury box, was maintained by their engineers who were not even allowed to touch it. The Mercury button was to access their equipment. Yeah, the Mercury button was just a programmable button on the phone. Dominic says his Unihertz Titan. He says it's a bit chunky in his old phone, but he's never got on with a touchscreen keypad. Even the ZX81 is better than a touchscreen. Yeah, ZX80. That's what you want. A sort of touchpad thing, wasn't it? Not touchscreen, but touchpad. It didn't have proper keys at all, did it? A ZX80. It didn't even have rubber keys. It just had like a strange membrane that pressed in a little bit. ZX80. Dominic says mine's a slim one, which is a little more rectangular. Oh, you've got the slim down one. Yeah, the battery's not so good in them though. I had the full spec one because of the battery life. Avengers dogs. Yes, Avengers dogs. I'll try and show you. Oh, can I unclip that camera? Oh, hang on. Can I do it with this camera? And just, I'll try and do it. Just hang on a minute. Gosh, nobody will rest until they've seen the doggies, will they? Hang on. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see if this will. No, I've got a stream up at this end. If I now. Oh, there it is. Right, I need to get rid of that. Oh, that's it. Right. Right, this is where the audio might go a bit funny. My apologies if it does. It does. Right, so here's the audio from the SRT stream now. You should be seeing a stream now of sort of the corner of my desk and that, and down here this is Odin, who's laid here like a good boy. He is a part German Shepherd, part Husky. He's mainly a Husky, part German Shepherd, and a little bit of Malamute as well. And in here somewhere, I think is Thor. Oh, there's Thor. Look, standing there. Now Thor is part Rottie and part German Shepherd. And Thor is one. He was 1 in September, and Odin was 3 in September, and they both look thoroughly disinterested in anything that we're doing, don't they? Which in a way is good. Thor, have a rest. Have a little snooze, Thor. Have a little snooze. Good boy. Yeah, have a snooze a minute. Good boy. See, Odin lays down. Odin's a good boy. Right. Right, we've sort of switched back now, I think. Right, can I turn that off? Yes, I think I can. Yeah, right, that's done that. Lovely. That went smoother than it normally does, didn't it? At least I think it did. Watch it back later and find out you didn't see any of that probably. So yeah, that's they are the doggies. Basically, their owner has got a family member who's not very well at the minute, so she's gone to see family and support them, and so I've got the doggies for the night. So they're sort of chilled out, shall we say? Yeah, chilled out. Penfold says that worked well, Andy. Marvellous. It doesn't normally. I normally forget the sound or something, don't I? So it doesn't normally work. But yeah, if it worked well, that's excellent. Talking of things that are working well at the moment, I noticed Christopher's not here tonight at the minute, but you might watch this back after the event. But this is a particular message for Christopher and anybody else who has got a CNET phone hosted on my CNET Exchange Stroke server thing that's sat on the windowsill here. It's up and running again. It's not been up and running since March. It is up and running again now, even as I speak. The CNET phones should be working. So if you want to plug your CNET phones in again, folks, those of you who have got them running off the server here, feel free and get them plugged in and start using them again, and let me know if they're not working for any reason. Dominic says Princess the Staffy is saying hello from the other end. Hello, Princess the Staffy. Where are you, Dominic? Then are you at what's it, at Belper at the minute, or are you elsewhere? You've got a dog with you. Cool. Right, so I've got the Avengers and Dominic's got Princess Leia. Right, what we were supposed to be doing tonight, it's all gone to pot. It's all completely gone to pot already today. Right, we were supposed to be talking about various phones, weren't we? So I thought, lay down like Odin. Yes, lay down like Odin is. Yeah? No, bark. Oh, I knew that would happen. Children and animals. Thought, no. We don't listen. We're being demanding. No. You've just been outside. You don't want to go out again. I'm just moving things off the desk so I've got a bit of space to work. It's been an interesting week. I've been trying to engrave dog tags this week. Not as easy as you think. Right. Let me try and move a few things out of yon way so we can move on and do the next bit of this. Because we've been talking about Mercury, haven't we? Mercury as in telephones, not as in the liquid metal. Yeah, we've been talking about Mercury phones and stuff already, and that is because I've had an arrival this week. Now, we had a phone on a few weeks ago, if you remember, that had a Mercury button on it. And what Mercury basically was, it was a division basically of cable and wireless, which eventually got fully absorbed into cable and wireless, which is why Mercury disappeared, and then I think it got sold to Siemens, I think, or something like that. But Mercury was a competitor to British Telecom, as they were at the time, which is now BT, of course, and it was set up as a competitor, and you initially could make a call over the Mercury network by dialing a number and then a sort of subscriber's code number, which I think think had 10 digits in it. Yes, Thor, it did, yes. So I think it was 131, and then you dialed the 10-digit number that was unique to you, then the number that you wanted to call, and your call went over Mercury instead of over Telecom, and Mercury got some money for the call. Now, that was a lot of digits to dial, even on a push-button phone. So to 131, a 10-digit number, and then the number you wanted to call, particularly if you were calling out of your area. And so that's where the Mercury button came in, because the Mercury button basically dialed the 131 and the 10-digit number. But later they did away with you needing the 10-digit number, and you just dialed 132 and then the number you wanted to call. So basically all the Mercury button was just pre-dialed that bit of the number. But Mercury also had phones of their own, apparently, which I hadn't realised until now. So if you, I guess you could get Mercury to install a line to your house or your business, and if that happened, you got a Mercury phone. Now I don't know how you dialed out over the GPO, over Telecom, if you've got a Mercury phone. I don't know if you could or not. Were you limited if you had a Mercury phone to only dialing out on Mercury? I don't know. But this is a Mercury phone. As you can see, it says Mercury on it, and there is no Mercury button or anything on it. It is just a phone. It's got redial, save, redial, pause, recall and tone on it, and then it's got a normal keypad. I will show you under the other camera in just a sec when I set that camera up, which has got all knocked around into the wrong place. There we go. There it is. If I now press that, you should be able to see it. There you go. So there's your Mercury phone. Look at this interesting sort of gold pattern thing. It's actually smooth to the touch because it's under like a perspex cover. It reminds me of a Star Trek communicator, at the top of a Star Trek communicator. You know, the original communicator that you had on the original series of Star Trek? It reminds me of that, and I was wondering what that was, and at first I thought, is it a little microphone or something? Is this a speakerphone? Turns out it's not. If I plug it in, then we'll be able to try it, because I have to say, I'm not foolish enough to be doing this for the first time on a live stream. I have already tried it and it does work. I do sometimes do things for the first time on a live stream, and they're the ones that go wrong. Actually, yesterday I was at the radio station trying to film a new episode of How to Start a Radio Station, and I was doing a bit of soldering as part of this film, and you'll see this in a few weeks' time. And I did these solder connections brilliantly. I'm trying to solder on 3 multi-pin connectors to different cables, and I thought the first one I'll do and just see if I can do it, because the pins are very tiny. I thought I'll just see if I can do it. Did it brilliantly. The second one, I thought I'll film this one, made a right ash of it. Third one that I wasn't filming again, did it brilliantly. Right, we'll plug this in. We are now plugged in onto my Revelation, and we are plugged in to 20. So if I pick this up, I can dial the phone that's, well, I'll not dial the one that's sat on my desk, I'll dial another one that's quiet, and that is dialing. But it's dialed out as tone. It has got a pulse tone switch on it, this phone, underneath, so you can do it for pulse dialing or tone dialing. So that's dialed out, but what you are wanting to see is probably what happens when we dial in, because that's when it gets exciting. So I will dial into it, and you'll be able to see what happens. It lights up! How cool is that? think you can actually turn the ringer off on this. Yeah, you can. So that'd be good in a radio station, wouldn't it? Because you can actually turn the ringer fully off and just have the light. Or you have it on low. Or high. Which, yeah. But that's what it does. So that is a Mercury telephone. And I've never seen one before. I'm wondering, though, obviously, I would doubt these were actually made for Mercury. So my question is this a phone that was also used by anybody else? Anyway, indeed, did BT or Telecom or GPO, whatever you want to call them at that stage? Technically, I think they were Telecom at that stage, or British Telecommunications to give them the full name. But yeah, was that phone used by anybody else? Because I have a feeling it probably was. Dominic says, regarding his location, he says he's at his parents' for the weekend, which is why he's with Princess the Staffy. Hello to Princess. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name, Penfold, of the hammer. Thor needs to find his hammer. Merjolina, what? Yeah. No, I'm just. My apologies for sort of dismantling that name. Michael T says, "Hi Andy, you have been busy enjoying the reconnection." Yes, I saw you'd already reconnected, Michael. I hope the calls are going through okay for you. Fat Hobbit says hello. He says he's a bit late tonight. Hello, Fat Hobbit. Yeah, I was late as well. I'm always late, aren't I? Anyway, people expect me to be late. You know, it never starts dead on time, does it? One day I'll start one early and surprise everybody. Dominic says the Mercury phone booths looked amazing. I've always wanted to see what a Mercury phone looked like. Yeah, I don't know. The ones in the phone booths I seem to remember were sort of stainless steel, pretty much like the BT ones, or very similar. I can't say that I ever used one. There were some Mercury phone booths put up in Chesterfield, and a Mercury phone booth. I think it was one of these that they sort of bolt to a wall in just like a hood type thing. Did pop up on eBay a while ago, and it was not massive amounts of money. I very nearly bid on it. Well, God knows where that had come from. But yeah, one did pop up a while ago on eBay. Michael says, Andy, are you talking about the Mercury kiosks that were a competitor to BT briefly in the early 1990s? Yes, Michael. Yes, they're the ones. I think they existed from about 1985, 1986-ish, but they were certainly around in the early 90s. I think Mercury stopped existing as its own entity in about 1997, if I'm remembering right. Penfold says he's been to a few houses with a Mercury master phone socket installed. Easy fault to fix. Customer plugged into the wrong socket. So it was a separate line from the customer's house then, was it, Penfold? It was a separate master socket. And I can't say I've ever seen a Mercury master socket. Has anybody got one of those? That would be very cool to plug this phone into. Did you manage to half-inch one, Penfold, while you were there? Penfold says the light is not as cool as a neon on a 700 series handset. I suspect it may be the same neon or a very similar neon. It certainly looks that neon-y orange colour, and the way it flashes, it looks like it could be a neon as well. I've not really gone into it as yet. In fact, I've not really got a clue how you would take this phone apart. I've got no idea, because as I plugged it in and it worked, I thought, quick while you're ahead, Andy. But yeah, the screws and the underside of it there and there. So they probably just unscrew those two screws, and then the rest of it falls apart somehow. Oh, you can change the pitch, high and low pitch. ER or TBR, there's a slider, and a slider for P and T, which I assume is pulse and tone. But what is ER and TBR, which is that little slidey switch there? It's set on ER at the minute. The model apparently is a Connect 1, and it says Bart on the bottom of it there. Can you see that? Ren 1, GPT, and made in China. Now Bart, where do I know that name from? It's one Ren though apparently, so no 3.3 kilo ohm resistors required here. Excellent. Yeah, I really like it. It's a bit yellow. This is the thing we cannot retrobright using my method of retrobrighting. Can't do it because it is slightly textured, and the number of people, you know, I do the retrobrighting with the acetone. The number of people who have commented on that video going, I retrobrighted my computer and it's taken all the texture off it. Don't do it. And I do say in the video, don't do it on a textured surface. But the number of people that still went ahead and did it on a textured surface, which just goes to show people don't watch the videos, or at least don't listen when they watch the videos. So yeah, we can't use my acetone method of retrobrighting on this, and I've never got the method of sort of putting it in a bottle of peroxide and leaving it in the sun. I've never got that to work at all. But interestingly, why is this bit a lighter colour? Why is that bit not gone the same as the rest of it? I wonder if it was made out of bits, this one. I don't know. But it's a very interesting phone. It's got a button in the handset there that, as far as I can tell, that button in the handset, that's not a button, that's just a thing probably covering a screw, but this is a button, and as far as I can tell, this is a mute button, because although you can hear side tone when you speak it, if you press that button, all the side tone goes away. So I assume that is like a mute button. If you suddenly want to talk about somebody who is on the other end of the phone, go, oh, I've got that boring git on the other end of the phone, can you call me on my other number please, I can tell them I've got another call, and then you let it go again. Yeah, so that yeah, we've all done that in an office, haven't we? What do you mean no? But yeah, so that is the Mercury phone anyway, and I quite like it. Yeah, but I mean, that wouldn't have been a Mercury phone box. That's obviously a sort of phone for a private subscriber, or maybe for use in an office somewhere. And this little bit was on it as well, but one of the little things has broken off it. There should be another one of those on that side, and I think it clips in there, so you can mount it on a wall and it will sit on a wall. But that little bit, as you see, is broken, and crucially I've not got the bit from the other side. So if this phone is something that somebody else uses somewhere in the world, I'd quite like another one, because I'd like one of these bits. So yeah, and also when I opened the package, immediately after I'd opened the package, I found this on the floor, which I don't recognise. So did this fall out of the phone somewhere? Where is it? Did that fall out of this phone? This little sort of coppery thing. Got no idea. answers on the proverbial postcard, please. But that is the Mercury phone, and it works brilliantly. I'm quite impressed with it. It's cool. Right, what are people saying? Miguel said it looks like GPT. Yeah, that is what it says, I think. Yeah, GPT. There's something in this. I wonder if it's the other bit of that thing. God, there is something rattling about inside it. They might have to have a look inside. Right, I've lost my place in the chat. Where did I get to? Penfold says, all I remember about Mercury phones was they were stainless steel and had a big blue Mercury button. Yeah, I think, I remember them being stainless steel. Dominic says, didn't they have some really fancy phone booths? They did. Yeah, they sort of, some of them went, the ones in Chesterfield I think went to a point. They sort of curved up and then went to a point. Yeah, they were very fancy. Penfold says, the Mercury master socket looks the same as a BT socket, but had a Mercury symbol on it instead of a BT / British Telecom symbol. Cool. Got to find one with a Mercury symbol on now. Dominic says he would have thought the BT would have put a red dot do not use sticker on that. Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? And we've got a spammer in the chat by the looks of it. Right, how do we get rid of the spam bot? Yeah, how do you get rid of the spam bot? That's a good question. I don't seem to be able to do it from here, and I'm sure I should be able to do it. Can I delete it? No, I can't. Right, why can't I do that? That's a bit of a downer, isn't it? Participants. Now I can see the participants, but I can't kill the bot. Can I do it off my normal phone? Let's have a go. Bear with me 1 second. Just trying to kill the spam bot. Just proving a little tricky. I can do it off my mobile. Cool, I think we've got rid of it. I think we've got rid of it. Big Clive has problems with spam bots, but normally we don't. Right, I think we've got rid of it. I think, right, where was I? Right, there we go. That looks more like it, I think, now. Right, we've got rid of the spam bot. Yeah, Big Clive has problems with spam bots in his YouTube chat as well. I don't know how they get through, but they do. Right, where were we? Yes, we were talking about Mercury and things, weren't we? Penfold says, the spam bot is maybe a sign that your YouTube channel is getting more popular. Yes, perhaps it is. Oh my God. If that many people are watching me on a Sunday night, the television must be really bad. They have gone, says Miguel. Marvellous. Yes, I think I managed to zap them using my extremely large Unihertz Titan. I basically hit them with it. Yeah. So yeah, I think. Speak says, click on it and press report. Just done it. Yeah, I think we've managed to do it. I think we've. Yeah, maybe I'm getting too popular. Oh God, I never thought I'd say that. Right. Okay. So where are we? Yeah. Right. I'm going to switch that off on my phone so it doesn't drain the battery off my phone. And so we don't upset doggies if it makes a noise, because they're being rather quiet at the moment. It's very good. Yeah. Yeah. I had to bribe them with a cat. Oh, Thor's woke up now. That's it. Lay down again. Good boys. Good boys. So yeah, there's the Mercury phone anyway. That we got. Were there other kinds of Mercury phones? If anybody's got one, let me know. Drop me a line. I know some of you know the email address and things. It is a secret though. I don't give it out on here because of things like the spam bot. But you can, if you want to make initial contact with me, you can through the website. And when I find the website on this list of things I can click on here, I will show you the link to it. Oh, it's there. That's the one. The website is there. andyshed.coldpress.net is the website, and you'll find a contact us page on there that you can contact me through if you've not contacted me before, and then I will send you an email back by return. So when you fill the form in, make sure you do actually leave your email address on it as part of it. Right, cool. So where are we at now? Gambo says, oh my, Doctor Who, which was on TV last week, was brilliant, for me anyway. Gambo, you must be the only person in the world still watching Doctor Who and liking it. That's all I can say. I've seen 5 minutes of it, because I didn't know it was on. I used to watch Doctor Who religiously. My Doctor Who growing up was Tom Baker. Yeah, he was my Doctor Who. And it was never quite the same when Tom Baker left, and it got sort of gradually worse until the one I really didn't like first time around, and I think a lot of people will say the same. And I'm sorry, because the guy's a great actor and a great comic, Sylvester McCoy. He was just not the person to be Doctor Who, in my opinion. And basically everybody else thought that, because he did it for a while and then he got cancelled, didn't he? But then Doctor Who came back, and it was sort of okay when it came back, but the stories moved too fast. They didn't have time to go into anything, because they were like one story an episode most of them, and they were trying to do it in 40 minutes. Because they were made to fit the American idea of an hour, which is actually 40 minutes, because in every hour of American television there's 20 minutes of adverts. So the stories moved too fast, and Chris Eccleston, yeah, not bad as Doctor Who. Billy Piper, okay as a assistant. But then David Tennant came along, and it was okay, I suppose, but some of the writing started to be appalling. And this is my real gripe about it. And I know for a fact that around about that time, Russell T Davies, who was the showrunner on Doctor Who at the time and is now back, you may or may not know, he wrote some of the episodes, and others he had to rewrite that other people had done because they'd made such a poor job of it. But the one whose episodes I like, I always thought Doctor Who should not be a kids show. I always thought it was best when it was dark and when it was scary and when it was properly scary. And from those early ones to the new ones, the best one by miles was the Weeping Angels, by absolutely miles, because it was terrifying. It would give you nightmares. If you've never seen that Doctor Who, that first one with the Weeping Angels, where they're in the churchyard and you never see them move, but when you look away they have moved. And I thought that's brilliant, because they're like stone angels that you would see in a churchyard. So you can go out the morning after you've watched that and walk through a churchyard and there'll be one of those angels in the churchyard. I thought, what a brilliant thing to make even more scary than it is anyway. And that was really good. And it was the guy 2 showrunners ago, whose name I've forgotten, who did that. Come on, somebody. Who was it? Who was the guy that wrote the Weeping Angels? It was the last good showrunner before the idiot Chibnall took over. Somebody put his name in the chat, because I'm having a bit of a mental block. Penfold says K9 was the best in Doctor Who. Yes, I agree. K9 was excellent. Come on, somebody, come on. Who was the blooming showrunner 2 showrunners ago? Before Chibnall ruined it. What was his name? Come on, somebody put it in the chat, please. I shan't sleep now. Stephen Moffat, thank you, Gambo. Yes, Stephen Moffat. I believe he wrote the Weeping Angels, and that was good. And I've always found the ones that Stephen Moffat wrote were the best ones of the new ones. And then when he became the showrunner, we got Peter Capaldi. And I'm going to say something that may be controversial here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Of all the Doctor Who's there have ever been, first lot or new lot, I think Peter Capaldi is the best one by a country mile. You can stick your David Tennants where the sun don't shine. He's too cheerful, he's too happy, and he's too young. If you're supposed to be God knows how many million years old and you can't die, you are going to have a few wrinkles and you are going to be extremely grumpy. And I think Peter Capaldi got that, and he was the best Doctor. And I'm also going to say that Jenna Coleman was the best companion. And now I hear all the bad ones are coming back. But when Jodie Whittaker took over as Doctor Who, well, here's what I said at the time, and I have the prop here. What's the difference between Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall, and a dimmable light bulb? Answer: a dimmable light bulb is bright at least some of the time. I should like Jodie Whittaker. She's from Sheffield, she's from down the road. But the woman drives me insane. Can't stand it. It's the voice. She doesn't even sound like a proper Sheffield person. I don't know how the hell she's managed to not to be able to do a Sheffield accent, which is where she's from. But, oh my God. And the first episode that she did, she started out falling through the roof of a train or something. Can you remember? And it was night time. And there was this train going across the Pennines. I think it was kind of probably supposed to be on the Sheffield-Manchester line. And it was night time. And the episode centred around this guy going to work on this construction site who drove a tower crane, right? And it was night time. What construction sites work at night time? Who drives a tower crane in the dark? Whoever wrote that, and it only got worse from there. And like I say, I did not like him who has come back. What's wrong with my memory tonight? I did not like David Tennant at all in it. Didn't think he was right for that part at all. And now he's come back, and I'll go as far as to say I think he was the second or third worst one there's ever been. And Jodie Whittaker the worst by far. But wait until you see the next one, because he ain't going to be any better, I'll tell you now. I've seen the bloke in other things, and he's going to be no better. But my big gripe, I'm sorry, I'm getting off my normal thing here and started turning this into a thing about Doctor Who. They're going to be calling me Nerdrotic 2 in a minute. But my big gripe about it is like my big gripe about all television these days. Why do they have to rehash an old idea? Why do they have to bring back an old show and often ruin it in the process? A good example for sci-fi fans, Battlestar Galactica. Can't stand the modern Battlestar Galactica. Used to love the original one. But why do they have to bring back an old show? If they've got the budget to make it, why not make something new? Something actually new. If you're going to bring back an old show, okay, go back to the old show. Maybe redo the special effects, like they have with some of the Star Treks and that. Go back, redo the special effects, yeah? I'll tell you something that really could do with the special effects redoing. The film E.T. E.T., the special effects in E.T. are terrible. They were terrible in 1982. I remember looking at E.T. when it came out as a sort of 12-year-old and thinking, my God, these special effects are awful. That is definitely a rubber mould that they're just wobbling about to make it look like an alien walking. Go back and redo the special effects in E.T., but don't remake the whole movie. You know, go back, redo the special effects in Star Trek. Don't remake the whole thing. With Star Trek, at least they don't try and remake it, unless we're talking about the rubbishy films. They kind of move it on a generation, like Star Trek Next Generation. Brilliant. Excellent idea. It followed on. And then Deep Space Nine followed on. And Voyager followed on. Enterprise, they went and did a prequel. Of course, you can't invent anything new in a prequel, because being that it's a prequel, you've got to have seen everything before, sort of thing. And of course, it wasn't anywhere near as popular, and it sort of killed it for a while. But the new versions of it, the new Star Treks that are coming out now, have got the same problem that Doctor Who has. The people who are making it don't understand it, and there is just not the talent to write it anymore. And there's certainly not the acting talent available to be a part of it. So yeah, I think they should do something new rather than try and rehash something old, because you'll never fulfill people's expectations if you try and bring something old back. The one that is kind of the exception to this, because I do quite like the new version, is All Creatures Great and Small. I do quite like the new version of that. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but I think it's because the writing is quite good. But writing just drives me mad, because yeah, I have written stuff myself before, and poor writing just drives me insane. But yes, enough of my rant. Hello, Odin. Odin's woken up. Hello, Odin. He's here. Hello, Odie Pops. The Odie Pops has awoken. Here he is. Look. This is his body, anyway. This is his back end. This is his front end. Oh, there's his face. The Odin has awoken. The Odin awakens. Yeah, somebody will make a movie out of that one day. The Odin. Oh, here he is. Hello. I knew he'd do that eventually. Hello, Odin. Hello. Say hello to the people. Say hello to the... No, turn that way and say hello to the people. Yeah, that's a phone, Odin. Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to do it as well, Thor? Thor, come here. Thor, come and say hello. Come on. Oh. Here he is. Here's Thor. Odin doesn't like it when Thor does it. Hello, Thor. Look, this is Thor. He's 1 year old and he's like a giant teddy bear, aren't you, Thor? Yeah. Good boys. You woke up now, haven't you, a pair of you? Yeah. Are you wanting to go out? Is that it? I think they're probably wanting to go outside. Right, let me stick my camera up. Oh, moved it round as well, haven't I? Oh. It takes me ages to get your camera in the right place. Right, yeah, so yeah, basically Doctor Who, I think it's had its day. It's a bit, to cut a long story short. I think you should kill it for now, at least. Give it another 10 or 20 years off and spend the money on something new. I watched Blake 7 the other day. Blake 7 is infinitely better than Doctor Who. Even the old Blake 7, it kind of stands up, yeah. Doesn't it, Odin? Yeah. Do you like Blake 7? Yeah? Do you? Blake 7 with Serbalan, nasty Serbalan. Ooh, boo. Yeah, he does. He does. He's told me he does, yeah. Right, anyway. Enough of this nonsense. What time is it? My God. We can fill for the world here. Right, I shall uncouple the Mercury phone. Like I say, if anybody's got a Mercury phone out there, particularly if anybody's got a different Mercury phone to this one, get in touch with us. Let us know. andyshed.coldpress.net. Click on the contact us thing. Right, I shall put this to one side. Where was it? I've got to put it somewhere where doggies can't eat it tonight. I normally just put things on the floor when I'm doing this, but I can't tonight. Doggies will go, oh, new chew toy. Yeah, won't you? Eh? Right, so that is that. Oh, here he is again. Hello. Hello. What? What do you want? What do you want? Eh? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want to go outside? Is that what you want? I think he wants to go outside. Bear with me one moment. I will return. Do you want to go outside? Eh? Yeah. No jumping over the wall though. Thor jumped over the wall the other day. No jumping over the wall. No. Come on then. Back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Toilet break for the doggies. If anybody else wants a toilet break, I suggest you do it now. Ah. Come on then, you two. fellas. Come on, you two. This way. Thor. This way. Come on. In you come. In you come. Good boys. That's it. Good boys. Good boys. Go out again later. Good boys. That's it. Good dogs. Would you like a treat? I'll give you a treat. I'll be back in a minute. Me. Come with me, come with me. Walk this way. Walk like an Egyptian. Right, we're back. Sorry about that. Toilet break for dogs. I wonder how many of you did the same. But, right, so here's a treat for a doggy. You want to see the doggies, don't you? Hang on, boys. Got to get you on one of these cameras just a sec. Right, so we've turned it into Odin cam at the moment. Right, here's a treat for Odin, and here's a treat for Thor. There, good boys, good boys, good boys. That's it. Settle down again now, then. Good lads. Lads, take me for a drag later. It's not going to all according to plan today. I spent £200 on a hacksaw today. Don't ask. I'll show the patrons the hacksaw. Have I got a photo of the hacksaw? I'll show the patrons the hacksaw. I'll take a, if I've not got a photo, I'll take a photo and I'll upload it tomorrow or something. But yes, you can join us on Patreon, remember, if you want to, for just like the equivalent of about £1 a month, roughly. Yeah, patreon.com/Andy Shed. You can join with all those people that are listed on there, because I've not got the other Patreon card. Oh, hang on, there it is. No, that's not it. Don't you, my mother said there'd be days like this. That's the one. That's the one. Patreon.com/Andy Shed. I'm in so much trouble with this today. Shut up! What are we barking at? What are we barking at? Bear with me a moment. What are we barking at? What? What are we barking at? Just a minute. No, come back to E. Don't want to go out again. Don't possibly want to go out again. Come on, let's have you. Come on. Hold in. Come on, in. Hold in. Treat. Door. Come out the way. Come out the way. Dear me. Hold in. I'm back. I've made it back. I might have to give up tonight. It might be discretion is the better part of valour tonight. Dominic says Hartnell was the best Doctor Who in his opinion. Yeah, Hartnell was alright. Yeah, again though, grumpy old man. Doctor Who should be a grumpy old man, definitely. Wesley's here as well. It says, even though apologies for my lateness, don't worry Wesley, you've not missed much. You just missed two mad dogs, a rant about Doctor Who and a Mercury phone. But apart from that, nothing at all really. Gambo says, I like Star Trek Discovery and Picard. There's going to be some modern TV executives somewhere. You're not a TV executive, are you, Gambo? Because it would explain a lot. What are the dogs doing? Oi! Pack it in, you two! Yeah. Don't like Discovery. Picard is a little bit better, but it's not how it was, let's put it that way. Penfold says, I worship dog and bone problems tonight. Not bone, just dog. Dominic says, did you get the photos of my WN2 Walkman, Andy? I think I probably have, Dominic. I looked at it on my phone, but the photos didn't come back to it. So I'll open it on my computer at some point and we'll try and get the photos on next week. But yes, and also your tape player is plumbed into the radio station. Right, what on earth is going on with these dogs? It's getting more like Blue Peter by the minute, this. By the way, talking of Blue Peter, I don't know if I've asked this question before. Who keeps sending me Blue Peter annuals? I've got quite a collection of them now. They've arrived in 2 or 3 different parcels. Somebody, I'm sure it's somebody on here, keeps sending me Blue Peter annuals. But that's quite a good one. That's kind of my ending era of Blue Peter, that. Karen Keating, Mark Curry and Janet Ellis. I think I'm psychic because when Mark Curry, when that cocktail shaker broke apart on Mark Curry and it went everywhere, I thought seconds before that happened, I remember that going out live, and I thought seconds before that happened, wouldn't it be funny if that cocktail shaker came apart? And it did. Absolutely convinced I was psychic. But yeah, who's sending me Blue Peter annuals? Yeah, there were Blue Peter presents I've forgotten existed until I looked through those annuals. But I have to say, everybody I've shown those Blue Peter annuals to has read them. So, it must be one of the most popular books in the world, Blue Peter annuals. Right, okie dokie. Right, where were we going? I've got no idea. It's all gone a bit Pete Tom tonight. But yeah. Right, the other thing that I was going to do tonight was tell you about this red phone. Jury's still out on this because this is actually a 706L. Should we put the lettered dial surround back on it? Because it would definitely have had one being the 706L. Should we put it back on it? Is the question. It has got an early blank dial surround that is made in the same way as the lettered ones. I painted on the back with a metal clip inside. I'm a bit loath to take that off because they're a bit rare. But should we put it back, being it's an L and it's not right not to have them? Should we put the dial surround and that back on? So should we change the dial back to how it originally was, or should we leave it like that? Let me know in the comments, please. Let me know what you think and we will do something. Yeah, probably next week now because it's getting late and my well, car will be turning back into a pumpkin in a minute. Right, okay dokie, so where are we? Penfold says the ladies' underwear episode of Blue Peter was epic. It's on YouTube. Who was involved in that, Penfold? I remember the one of Karen Keating dressed in a bin liner. And Karen Keating, for those of you who don't know, that's Karen Keating. Unfortunately, died way too young, but that's Karen Keating. Karen Keating was gorgeous. And even dressed in a bin liner, she was gorgeous. But yeah, I remember Karen Keating being stapled into a bin liner on Blue Peter and thinking, some people get all the good jobs, don't they? Yeah, this has gone wildly off track tonight, this has. Oh god, the chat's just shot up. Gambo says, I'm not a TV exec, which is why I was lol and talking about emails. Did you get the emails I sent? One was about 2 Bakelite phones converted to work internally, no PABX, and the red wall phone with blank dial. Not seen the red wall phone with blank dial, but I did get something about the 2 Bakelites with the boxes on the back. Oh, the red thing with the fire dial label. Yes. Yeah. I've been a bit quiet about that because 1 or 2 people have asked me about that. Yeah, there was a red war phone listed. Must be 2 or 3 weeks ago now, on eBay, that was purporting to be a red either 711 or 741 with no dial, just a blank on it, a red blank on it, and it said things like Firehouse or something in the middle of it. Various people, at least 3 or 4 people, have contacted me, one of which was you, Gambo, to basically say, have you seen this, or is this real, do you think, and that. And my answer is, yes, I'd seen it, and jury's out as to whether it's real or not. It certainly looks old and dirty from the photos, which is always a good sign. But I've never ever seen a red one before. I've said this before on here. The only thing that I've seen before is a grey phone, or maybe even a black phone, that's got red bits on it to denote it as a fire phone, i.e. a red dial surround, possibly a red handset, you know, all the parts that were made in red normally, that they've just stuck on there. But they would have had to make red cases specially for them, and would they have bothered for the relatively small number there would have been? And I don't know. There are certainly red cases about now though, because the other Andy over at Britphone, he does have new reproduction cases struck from the old molds, from the original molds I believe, made in red. And because they're made from the original molds, they are very difficult to tell if they are original from period or if they're modern ones. I don't know if he marks them in any way to denote that they're modern ones. I don't know if he puts like a moulding mark on the inside of them. I will have to find out. I will ask that question. Yeah, it's an interesting one, that one that turned up on eBay. I don't know if it was genuine period thing or not, but it certainly I normally look for, is it old and dirty? And if it's old and dirty, if it looks like it's been stored in the shed for the last 30 years, then there's a good chance, isn't there? So I don't know. Right. Michael says, hope you're not hungry, Andy. Dinner's in the dog. Yes, I wasn't really planning on having dog treats anyway, Michael, but might be all I get tonight. Yeah. Although I have to say, whirlers smell quite nice. When you open a packet of whirlers, anybody who's got a dog, you open a packet of whirlers, packet of bacon and cheese whirlers for the dog. And you think, I wonder what these would be like. They actually smell quite nice. I imagine they're a bit like pepperami, but I don't know. Yeah. God, I'm talking rubbish tonight on here. And amazingly, people are still watching it. But there you go. Right, I think though that is probably going to be about as far as we are going for today, because I've not had my customary Sunday night pizza yet. Who thinks there's any chance of me actually getting any of the customary Sunday night pizza? Yes, I said pizza. Who thinks there's any chance of me actually getting any of the customary Sunday night pizza tonight, or do you think it might get eaten by others? Yeah, I think it's more than a chance of that. But we will be back, hopefully same time, same place, next week. Patrons, watch out, there is some stuff coming your way in the week from where I've been today at the little stationary engine crank up at a place called Fiskerton, near Newark. We'll be telling you. Yes. If you were an elephant and I was John Noakes, we'd be a lot richer than we are. Yes. Good boy. Right. It's time for me to go. Odin's telling me he wants something, probably my pizza. So I think we will call it a day for today and we will zoom off. Remember, everybody that is connected to CNET, try it. Use it this week. See if it works. If it doesn't, let us know. Because it should be up and running. It's all sort of wearing away on the windowsill here even as I speak, so hopefully CNET is now in operation once again. But from me for now, and from my friends Odin and Thor, have a fantastic week ahead, everybody, and we will see you next time. Gambo says he might miss show next week because he's away in Great Yarmouth. Oh, enjoy Great Yarmouth. And Dominic, there'll be more stuff about the radio station coming very, very soon, particularly on Patreon, so watch out for that dropping during the week. But thanks again to everybody for watching tonight. Sorry it's not been quite what it was supposed to be this evening, but we will hopefully get normal service resumed next week. But for me, for now, have a fantastic week ahead, and we will see you next time. Bye for now, everybody, and bye from the boys as well.